our Friday assembly, and today we have a double feature. We're going to have 5 artists in residence, and then we are going to have a wonderful presentation from South Africa. So without further ado, our first performer hails from the 3rd grade, and that is David.
This summer, a group of 28 Meadowbrook students, parents, faculty, and 3 of our friends from Beacon Academy went to South Africa. While there, we visited Cape Town, Johannesburg, and the Madikwe Game Reserve.
We had an incredible time seeing amazing natural wonders, learning about South Africa's history, and viewing wild animals in their natural environment. But it was our time meeting and getting to know South African kids our own ages that made for some of our most powerful experiences.
Most of you know about our friends at the Tungy program in Soweto. They have visited us in the past, and if you were here last year, you'll remember the book collection we created for their library. Please listen as we share with you some of our favorite memories from our time with the KYP.
I will always remember the first time that I saw the metal roofs of Cliptown's shacks from the bridge while we were driving in the bus. Each shack was small, and many of them housed 4 or 5 people. I remember being surprised that, despite their living conditions, the children looked happy hanging out and playing games in the street.
Something I will always remember is walking into Cliptown Youth Program and everyone singing for us. KYP was so welcoming, and then getting to meet our buddies was amazing. I will always remember that experience and will never forget my pen pal, Atuline.
Seeing Cliptown and its people changed the way I think about the world. When we first visited Cliptown and KYP, we noticed that they were poor. But when we came to KYP for the first time, they sang to us and greeted us very energetic. It surprised me that even though they didn't have the living conditions, they would be so happy.
KYP and the kids there changed the way that I think about the world because they seemed so happy with so little, and I learned from them that you don't need a lot to be happy.
When we went to KYP in Cliptown, my experience changed the way I think about the world. Even though we have very different experiences in life, in the end, I realized that the only difference between me and my pen pal is the 8,000 mile distance between us.
An image that is fixed in my mind is visiting my pen pal's grandparents' home. Although my pen pal was lucky enough to live in an apartment, his grandparents still lived in the shack. Despite this, they welcomed us kindly. It was very humbling to spend time with them and get to know them.
I will always remember meeting my pen pal and traveling with her to a nearby home. The story the man told us about his home and his history was sad, but it was also inspiring. He was so happy to educate people about his story and the conditions that he lives in. He told us to be grateful and to love even little things.
An image that is fixed in my mind is the happiness on the kids' faces from KYP when they received their new books from Meadowbrook. Though they may be less fortunate than us and living under harsh conditions, they were so grateful and accepting for every opportunity they got, whether it be small or large.
I will always remember KYP as a place of learning. There were great gumboot dance and netball teachers, and I enjoyed sitting in their tutoring classes. KYP also taught me far more than just the topic at hand. They taught me that anyone can learn, if they're determined to work hard.
One of my most vivid memories is of sitting in the small cafeteria at Highland Temple and watching raps as Mbali sang for the whole South African group, all the while strumming on her damaged guitar. Even though without having the proper tools to bring out her full potential, she was so talented and her story was so inspiring.
Going to KYP changed the way that I think about apartheid in South Africa. It affected our pen pals heavily through their families who also had to go through it. It made me realize just how recent apartheid actually was and how much it still impacts the lives of many South Africans.
Seeing the way kids and people reacted to our presence in South Africa really opened up my mind to what it's like there. Everyone has their own problems and struggles in life, but what really surprised me is how the people in South Africa dealt with those. And I came into this trip thinking they couldn't possibly be as happy or as joyful as all the videos make them seem, but it really surprised me how close to reality those videos actually were. I thought our presence there in South Africa would make them jealous and remind them of their own poverty, but instead it ended up making them happy to see that someone had come and see them in the first place. And Christian, who is not here today, he would like to say that an image that is fixed in my mind is being followed on our way back to our bus the last day. All our friends in KYP were singing. Their smiles would make anyone believe that they live easy lives, but that's far from the truth. Knowing that they have hard ways of living in Cliptown, but find a way to be happy will always stick in my mind.
Now, we have a short movie so that you can see for yourself some of the things that we experienced while we were in South Africa. While you're watching, you might want to think about some interesting things that you noticed or questions about what you're seeing. After the video is over, we'll have a brief time to answer your questions and observations.
So, I think you can tell we had an amazing trip. I just have a question. Does anybody in the audience have anything that they noticed that they thought was really interesting, or any questions about something they saw in the video? That's really interesting. Yes. The animals were really amazing. I don't know, what do you guys think? Were you afraid? Just a little bit. Okay, one more. Yes. That was really good. We got some elephant kisses when we were there. It was pretty messy. So that video, we were really lucky because we had some big helpers for that. I don't know if you guys remember Zach Campana, who graduated last year. He did a huge amount of the filming. Also, there were some special friends who you may not recognize who were with us on the trip. We have Angelica on the left, TJ in the center, and Mervin on the left, I guess. Yeah, Angelica, TJ, and Mervin. So they're from Beacon Academy. TJ did a lot of the filming, and Mervin actually put together that whole video. I don't know, a lot of you probably don't know what Beacon Academy is, but it's a special school that takes place for 1 year between grade 8 and grade 9, and it's for really hardworking, motivated kids who want to go to a lot of the high schools that Meadowbrook students after they graduate from Meadowbrook go to. So our Meadowbrook 8th grades for the last few years have had a chance to get to know Beacon Academy students by going to plays with them, going to the Museum of Fine Arts, and Beacon students have actually even come here and done some of our road course, which is really cool. So it's a great place. We were really lucky to have Angelica and TJ and Mervin with us. So, yeah, okay, we've got one more special video for you guys.
One of the most important things we did while in South Africa was bring books to KYP for their library. If you were here last year, you will remember that each student in the lower school chose one of their favorite books to give to our friends at KYP.
We packed all those specially chosen books into our very heavy suitcases for the long flight to South Africa and brought them to the center. As you will see in the following video, this was a project that all of us students at Meadowbrook poured our hearts into.
And we're happy to report that the kids at KYP loved the books.
Thank you so much to everyone for making such a big difference in the lives of our friends at KYP, and we hope you enjoy the video.
you could see just how much all of your hard work and generosity and love, how much of a difference that made to our friends with KYP. They were so excited to get those books. And I think it is so wonderful because I know that each one of you who ended up choosing a book for KYP really loved your book. And I think you can see that they are loving those books just as much as you are. So that was really incredible. Thank you so much to everybody who participated, and also especially to Ms. Rapsiak and Ms. Kerman, who spent so much time organizing the whole thing. And I don't know if any of you noticed, but Ms. Kerman is actually here today. So I have a couple of other things to say about it. First of all, I want to introduce one other person who you may have noticed. He was our youngest member of our trip. He's actually related to me. His name is Oscar. He goes to the Bart School. He's in grade 2 right now. Also, okay, let's see. What did I want to say? Oh, yeah, okay. So there's more. I don't know if any of you noticed, but out in the hallway between the new main entrance and the dining room, and also on the wall outside the dining room, you may have seen some really amazing photographs that Miss Baird has been working really hard to collect and to put up. We had like incredible photographers on this trip. And so we wanted to share some of the best photos that came out of it. So I hope you will all really enjoy those. Make sure not to touch them because we don't want them to fall off or get damaged, but definitely take a look at those. Another super exciting announcement I have is something that's going to be happening this coming fall, probably in like late October or early November. We are getting another visit from our friends at KYP. I don't know if you remember, but 2 years ago, if you were here then, there were a group of about 10 gumboots dancers. Raise your hand if you remember the gumboots dancers. So fun. So they are coming back, and they are going to perform for us. They may visit us in our classes, and I am sure they are going to teach us some very cool gumboots moves. And then finally, the last thing I want to say is, if you were thinking to yourself, wow, that seems like a really cool trip, I would like to go myself to South Africa, I have some good news. And that is that we're planning to have another trip, and we're hoping to go back to South Africa for our 7th trip in June of 2019. So if you think that you might be interested, we're really hopeful that it's going to happen again. That's a great question. All of these details will come out once we confirm that the trip is happening. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for being such a great audience. I think we have one more announcement.
All right, guys, I think we owe a big thank you to Mr. J. We have a wonderful trip tonight. I cannot say more about how well we all the things we saw, all the things we did, and all the things we learned in those days. We have a lot. Thank you.
Are there any other announcements
everyone. So thank you so, so, so much. It was beautiful, and it's wonderful that